Welcome to Psychology of Daf. We are in Gemara Yoma Daf Pei Vav, and today we're going to talk about forgiveness. Now, the Gemara Namud Beis quotes a verse where Rabbi Elazar ben Yaakov tells us that a person needs to always confess their sins, even if they already confessed and they were forgiven. Presumably, they still need to continue each Yom Kippur to review those sins, as it says in Tehillim. Perek Nun Hey Pasuk Vav Chotosi Negdi Samid. My sins are ever before me. This principle is used by our Gemara in reference to obtaining and maintaining God's forgiveness. However, in my experience, this concept is prevalent when it comes to relationships transgressions, especially betrayals and traumas. Often a person who has sincerely worked to change themselves and humbly ask for forgiveness can still be frustrated with their spouse who cannot get over it. The person who is violated has their own timetable. It can take time, and especially a great deal of discussion and emotional processing in order to recover a sense of dignity and emotional safety. The person who is violated might feel the impatience and pressure by the other to forgive and let go. It is understandable, the frustration on both sides. It might be exasperating if they have to hear once again how unsafe, how violated, scared, angry, etc. that the person feels. Now, we still have to follow the paradigm that was set before us from the Torah. One must indeed always keep their past sins in front of them. Forgiveness might have been obtained, but there still may be a need to continue to hold on to it. Sometimes it's helpful to find out if there's an aspect or a dimension, even something apparently very minor that hasn't been fully addressed. You might ask the person who's having a hard time letting go, a hard time forgiving, is there something that you feel that I don't really understand? Is there an aspect that you have not been able to fully voice to me and feel that I get the enormity of what I've done and the ways in which I have hurt you? Now, this is a painful and difficult process for sure, but it is the only way at times to move forward in a relationship. Another thing to consider is sometimes it's hard to forgive because we're not able to forgive ourselves. An aspect of all trauma, even when logically it makes no sense, is the shame of victimhood. And someone who is mugged by an armed robber who realistically did the smart thing in submitting might still feel a tremendous shame. This is an innate biopsychosocial process. There's a part of the human spirit that resents greatly not being the top dog or alpha male. When you're a victim, no matter how much you are not to blame, there's still an aspect of shame and anger. This sometimes interferes in forgiving the other because we can barely forgive ourselves for allowing whatever happened to happen.